Hello, my dear friends. Today I will share my English learning secret. I know many of you want to learn English. I understand it is not always easy. But I will tell you, it is possible. I have a secret that helped me. I hope it will help you too. I believe in learning English with fun. When I enjoy, I learn better. I am sure it will be the same for you. Let me take you on my journey. When I first started, I found English very hard. I felt scared to speak. I thought, what if I make mistakes? But then I changed my mind. I thought, it is okay to make mistakes. This is how I will learn. This small change helped me a lot. I started to feel more confident. I understood that making mistakes is part of learning. It is like a child learning to walk. A child falls many times, but they always get up. This is the first step of my secret. One day I read a quote. It said, "Practice makes perfect." I thought about it deeply. I knew I needed to practice more, but how? I wanted to make it fun. I began to listen to simple stories in English. At first, I did not understand everything, but I listened again and again. Slowly, I started to understand. This is the magic of stories. Stories are not just words, they are feelings, pictures, and dreams. When you hear a story, you see it in your mind. You feel it in your heart. This made learning English very interesting for me. I remember a story of a young boy. He was lost in a big forest. He was scared but also brave. I listened to this story many times. Each time I learned new words. I felt like I was there with the boy. I could see the tall trees, hear the wind, and feel the fear and hope. This is how I made English a part of my life. I did not just learn words, I lived them. This made a big difference for me. Another secret is reading. I read easy books. I chose stories that made me happy. I read them slowly. I did not rush. I took my time to feel the words. When I read, I spoke the words softly. This helped me to remember. It also helped me to speak better. I read one page every day. Sometimes I read the same page many times. Each time I learned something new. I loved this way of learning. It was like meeting an old friend again and again. There was a time I read a story about a kind woman. She was poor, but she had a big heart. She helped everyone in her village. I liked this story so much that I read it many times. Every time I read, I learned new words. But more than that, I felt the kindness of the woman. I wanted to speak like her, with simple and kind words. This is another secret. When you feel a story, you learn better. Listening and reading are very important, but speaking is also a big part of my secret. I talk to myself in English. Yes, it may sound funny, but it helped me a lot. I looked in the mirror and spoke. I told myself about my day. I asked myself questions and answered them. It was like having a friend with me. This way I practiced speaking without fear. I knew there was no one to judge me. I was free to make mistakes. This freedom gave me confidence. Once I saw a quote that said, "Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend." I liked this idea, so I became my best friend. I spoke to myself with love and patience. I did not worry about grammar or big words. I just spoke. Day by day I got better. I felt happy when I spoke. This is how I made English my friend. I also watched many videos in English. I chose videos with simple language. I liked watching people talk about their lives, their dreams, and their secrets. I watched them carefully. I saw how they moved their lips, how they used their hands, and how their eyes spoke too. This helped me understand that English is not just words. It is also about how you speak. It is about your body, your face, and your feelings. This made learning very exciting. I remember one video about a man who loved to travel. He spoke about his journey to a faraway land. His eyes shined with joy. His voice was calm and clear. I listened to him many times. I tried to speak like him. I tried to feel his joy. This is another part of my secret. Find people who inspire you. Listen to them. Learn from them. Try to feel what they feel. This makes learning more powerful. Every day I made a small plan. I did not study for hours. I knew it would make me tired. Instead, I studied for a short time, but I did it every day. I called it my happy time. During this time, I read, listened, or spoke in English. I did not force myself. I made it my choice. I enjoyed this time. This is another secret. Make learning a happy part of your day. When you are happy, you learn better. One day I heard another quote. It said, "Little by little, one travels far." This became my guide. I understood that small steps lead to big changes. So I took small steps every day. I did not worry about how much I learned in one day. I trusted that each small step was taking me closer to my goal. And it did. Slowly but surely I started to see the change. Sometimes I felt tired. I thought, maybe I cannot learn English well, but then I remembered a story I read. It was about a little bird. The bird wanted to fly across the sea. It was small, but it was brave. It flapped its wings slowly, step by step. It rested when it was tired, but never gave up. I felt like that little bird. I knew I could fly across my sea if I kept trying. Another part of my secret is to be kind to yourself. I did not compare myself to others. I knew everyone has their own path. I focused on my path. I did not think about how fast others were learning. I just focused on my own small steps. This made me feel at peace. I felt good about my progress. I learned to celebrate my small wins. One of my favorite quotes is, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." This quote gave me hope. I knew I had to take that first step, and then the next, and then another. This is how I learned English, one step at a time. And with each step I got closer to my dream. I also found friends who were learning English. We talked to each other in English. We helped each other. When I spoke to them, I did not feel scared. I knew they were learning too. We laughed at our mistakes and learned together. This made the journey more fun. This is another secret. Find friends who share your goal. Walk together. Learn together. It makes the path less lonely. When I look back, I see a beautiful journey. It was not easy, but it was worth it. I learned that English is not just a language. It is a way to see the world. It opens doors to new ideas, new friends, and new dreams. I learned that it is okay to take time. It is okay to make mistakes. What matters is to keep going. Every day I remind myself that learning is a journey. It is not a race. I tell myself to enjoy the journey. I look for joy in every word, every story, and every new thing I learn. This joy keeps me going, and I believe it will keep you going too. I want to tell you one more thing. Remember to believe in yourself. You have the power to learn anything. Your mind is strong, and your heart is big. Do not doubt yourself. Trust in your journey. Trust in your steps. They will take you where you want to go.